making Saint Central your black and gold home for the New Orleans Saints.
I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on Tampa, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Funny like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Boy, we still got some stuff we got to clean up with our offense. For real, fam. All right, so anyway, let's jump right into halftime, man, as the game is over with. And as the game is over with. Yeah, so 24-17 is the final. The Saints improve. They climb to 5-4, 2-2 at home. Y'all stay right where y'all are. I'm going to have the post-game press conference of Dennis Allen and him climbing up here momentarily to talk about it. Paulson Adebo, they were phenomenal in this game. If you look at the final statistics, 20-18 in terms of the first down. Saints on the third down, 7-14. Bears were 6-12 in the game. 64 total plays versus 62 by the Saints. 364 total yards by the Bears offense versus 301 by the Saints. 12-11 on the drive advantage Saints. Bears averaged almost 6 yards per play versus only 5 by the Saints. 214-208 is the passing. 156 rushing yards by the Bears versus 87 by the Saints. Then, of course, you go further down there, you see the red zone play. Saints were 3-4 in the red zone. They were 3 out of 4. The Bears were 2 of 4. Saints had 1 penalty in the game, 1 penalty for 5 yards, 8 penalties for 71 yards by the Chicago Bears, and it was still a 1-score game, despite the fact the Saints had 5 turnovers in the game. Saints had 5 turnovers and still won by 1. We won the game tonight. We get the W, but we got a lot of this got to be cleaned up as we get further into the season. Offense still having its issues, still not consistent, still not gelling. 30-40 was the time of possession there versus 28-47 by the black and gold. So Derek Carr was he had 34 attempts throwing the ball, 211, 2 touchdowns. And from the rushing game, Taysom Hill led. He was able to kind of kick this thing out and make things work for him. Chicago made it interesting. I thought it'd be a major blowout in the game, but it wasn't. Our offense still need to get it together, but we get the dub. Carr 25 of 34 for 211, 6.2 yards per throw, 2 touchdowns. He wasn't sacked. 108.8 rating there. Taysom Hill had a 118.8. He had 1 completion for a touchdown for 3 yards to Juwan Johnson in the back of the end zone. He also was the team's top rusher, 11 carries, 52 yards. Elvin had 9 for 26. Jamal had 3 for 6. Derek Carr scrambled 3 times for 3 yards. Kendra Miller, 1 for nothing. So Bears did a wonderful job there at least stopping that from going on with the black and gold. The running attack, Chris Olave, 6 catches off of 8 targets for 46 yards. He had a touchdown. Elvin had 4 catches for 5 targets, 44 yards. Kendra Miller had 1 for 31, got upfield, real simple. Jawan Johnson, 5 catches, 5 targets, 29 yards. Foster Monroe had 1 catch for 23. Rashid had 3 for 22 on 3 targets. Taysom had 4 from 5 targets for 13 yards and a touchdown. Jamal, not that much, 2 catches for 6 yards. Michael Thomas was thrown at 1 time. And it was a pass interference play that did not work. So it was what it was in terms of that. And, we move on. So the fumbles, you see Pete Werner got a fumble. Paulson Adebo got a fumble. Demario Davis had 10 tackles and a sack in the game. He also had the fumble, strip that he had. Paulson Adebo had 7 tackles, tied with Cam, who had 7. Cam had a sack in the game as well. The other sack was Demario Davis. And, of course, Paulson had the turnovers. He had the interceptions in the game. So Paulson Adebo should get the game ball in my book. He had 2 interceptions in the game. Marcus May had 1 as well. So not bad by the Saints. The defense finally woke up. We just needed that offense, man. If the offense could have stepped up and did what they were supposed to do, things could have looked a little deeper than this, but still in all, man, we got the dub. So I ain't mad. I can't be too mad. We'll talk about that other stuff in another day. Tyson, the quarterback for the Bears, 18 of 30 for 220. He had 2 touchdowns against 3 interceptions. Foreman, their top rusher, 20 carries for 83 yards. And Tyson also had 8 carries for 70 yards. They put up 156 yards rushing against the Saints today. No touchdowns, however. All of those were through the air by Tyson. You look at Darnell Mooney, the Tulane wide receiver, 5 catches for 82 yards. Cole Kmet was big, 6 catches for 55 yards and 2 touchdowns that kept them in the game. DJ Moore was on shutdown. He had 3 catches for 45 yards. Not much shaking with him, with Lattimore trailing him around. So, I mean, it was interesting to see how everything went and played today, but the Saints did everything they needed to do. TJ Ellis, the linebacker, had 15 total tackles. For them, Sandbarn was the other dude who filled in for Edmonds. He had 10 tackles in the game. So the Bears defense thought they did enough to kind of hold down the Saints. Blake Krupe was 1 for 2. Carlos Santos was 1 for 2. The young kickers didn't make it shape. So in the end, the Saints were able to obtain and get the victory over this team. Now, just to share this with y'all right now, Atlanta Falcons right now are right now up 28-24 with 39 seconds left. The Minnesota Vikings are driving, though, with 39 seconds remaining. They have 2 timeouts as well. So hopefully they can help us out by beating the Falcons, knocking them off, and we keep it pushing. All right. So anyway, it's a good play. We get the W in the game, and the keys to it, we did just enough to win. The Saints defense woke up in the second half and got a ton of turnovers that helped us out. The offense could not capitalize off of them. We got to work on that. That has to improve. We got to get better at that. We really do. We got to improve. And once we start facing serious, better competition, after all, we just beat the Bears. Bears didn't even have their top quarterback. We got the dub. We able to improve over 500, but, we got a lot of stuff to clean up. I'm pretty sure Dennis Allen will tell us that when he gets to the podium. So a lot of positives. Paulson Adebo, shout out to Paulson Adebo, man. He had a wonderful game in which he was able to do a series of really positive things, getting those interceptions. The defense woke up in the second half, did a lot of positive stuff moving forward. The Saints, offensively speaking, did some positive things. They did not allow, I think they didn't allow a sack at all in this game. They kept, and that's another positive thing to talk about. They did not allow any sacks in the game. They they only had 1 penalty. They kept the penalties down, so they played a disciplined game. As far as that, it's just, other things need to happen, offensively speaking. But we grind out a win against the Bears, and we move on against the Minnesota Vikings, who are currently right now. They're marching down on the Falcons, man, and they need a touchdown. Josh Dobbs, man, is in the game, and if he beats the Falcons, man, and they go up, hey y'all, he scored a touchdown. Just when I said that, man, they just scored a touchdown, man. Oh, the Vikings just scored a touchdown, fam. They scored a touchdown on the on the Falcons, man. Hey, so there you go, man. So that but I'll just say that Joshua Dobbs is giving them problems. He just threw a touchdown, and they got 30 seconds remaining, man. And Josh Dobbs just threw a touchdown. And the Vikings go up 31-28. The Falcons still have 2 timeouts remaining in the game, right? They let the Vikings score 21. They scored 21 points in the second half. They let them put up 21 points in the second half. Joshua Dobbs about to beat the Falcons, man. They got 22 seconds remaining in the game. And that's obviously we know why we doing that, fam, because we know that we'll take full possession of the NFC South with a funky Falcon loss, man. So shout out to Big Low and his dirty, stinking Falcons. They about to help us out. Thank y'all. Y'all keep turning in a lot of these great gifts. We thank you for all that you do. You're a splendid organization. We appreciate you for all the great and excellent things that you do, all of the comedy and stuff that you provide us in, like how you guys get big leads and then lose the leads and fall apart. That is very entertaining. We thank you kindly for all of that stuff because it really means a lot to us that you care to stink. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting to see. All right, man. That's the Falcons, man. What can I tell you, bro? The Falcons stink, man. What can I tell you? Oh, man. They tell you can take all the damn Saints players you want, man. You still ain't going to be able to do nothing with that. All right. So shout out to the fam, man. We're going to bounce and go to the post game momentarily. Y'all stay with us, man. We're going to keep talking about it. But fam, tell me how y'all feel about it, man. About the Saints getting the W today. We get above 500. We making it pop, man. I'm happy for that. We got some stuff to clean up. It wasn't perfect, but sometimes some of these games aren't. We got to just keep it moving. If we can learn and win at the same time, I'm good with that. I'm good with learning and winning. You got what I'm saying? You pick up what I'm putting down. I'm good with learning and winning. So, yeah, this is very positive, man. In the end, man, we doing some great stuff here as we keep it going. So anyway, let me Atlanta stinks, man. Y'all suck. All right, anyway, man. Let me stop messing with the Atlanta people. They're having a hard time right now anyway. All right. So shout out to Brent, man. Thank you for the super chat. Says for fouled up cans, can't come on, man. The fouled up Falcons. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Brent. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Come on, Falcons. Hey, Falcons, come on, man.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Come on, Falcons. What's wrong with y'all, man? All right, thank you, Tenacious, man. It says Q, call Big Low for me. I'm not going to do it, man. I ain't going to do it, man. Low having a dip. Right now, man, you know Low at the game, man. And I ain't going to rub it in. You know, that's my boy, man. I ain't going to. It's sad, man. But the NFC South roundtable is coming. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate you.
I want to say thank you very much. Picking me up and bringing me back to this world.
Oh, man, it's so fun, man. The Atlanta Falcon family continue to, just provide an endless source of laughter and happiness to us, the Who Dat Nation. They attempted to take our best people to reset their organization. But even the best people are having it very difficult to take the Atlanta Falcons, who haven't really done a damn thing, and get them to do a damn thing. So we continue to struggle there, but I really do appreciate the laughter that they provide, man, because this is just awesome. This is awesome. 5 seconds left. Oh, did the Bucks win? The Bucks win? Okay, the Bucks was up against the okay, they had 46 seconds right now, Sean. I might have to refresh this thing to see exactly if it's final yet. But they're saying the Bucks, did the Bucks win? Is it a final? They got 46 seconds left. They're up by 4, 37-33. there. So yeah, still in all, man, I still like where we are. Even if they win, they still will fall behind. That's the final, fam. It's the final. The Vikings come back and beat the Falcons 31-28. Yeah. Oh man, Low right now is feeling pretty low. My dog Low is he's feeling pretty low right now. Yeah, it's just tough winning there, Low. They are now 4-4. They lose their first game and we got to face this Viking team, family. So, they play competitively against them. They go home. We play this Viking club next. So we're going to have to, take our game there and handle the business and do what we're supposed to do. But anyway, in this end, Saints handle the business. We get the dub here. Yes, here we go. We got Dennis Allen chiming in, fam. Let's see what old DA got to say at the podium. You're going to be talking cleanup stuff here.
I think, overall from a secondary standpoint, I think our guys have done a nice job of attacking the football.
Yeah, the last couple of weeks seems like the penalties have come way down. Has that been an emphasis? Have you seen guys kind of test the technique?
I think probably a little bit of both. A little bit of both. So, I think our guys from a technique standpoint have been doing a little better.
Yeah, Chris Olave said earlier this week that he needed like one bounce back game when the game got to the end zone today. How nice was that?
Yeah, it was awesome to see. He made a great catch in the end zone. Was a huge play for us, a big confidence builder for him, I think. So it was good to see him, come back and respond. And yet I think there's still more out there for him, and so we're going to keep pushing him to get the best out of him. And I think there's more there, and I'm excited about seeing it.
There's been a lot of sort of question marks around him from outside. Can you speak a little bit to the maturity that he showed?
Yeah, look, he's an extremely mature kid. He works his tail off. I'm glad he's on our team. I think he's going to be a big part of what we do as we move forward. He's an explosive weapon, and he's going to be a big part of our football team.
Coach, are you surprised at all by maybe the lack of separation that we saw with some of the receivers today? Were you surprised by that?
Look, I guess I have to go back and kind of look a little bit and see, kind of where we were at. But you're talking about like us offensively being able to create some separation. I mean, I thought we did some nice things in the passing game, but without really seeing the tape, I'd probably decline to comment too much on that.
Dennis, overall, how do you think the quarterback did as affected you? I mean, the pitching two he came from, not too many.
Way better than I wanted him to. Look, I thought he did. I mean, really, honestly, with the exception of the turnovers, I thought he played really well. I thought he operated their offense extremely well. You could see him getting to some checks and adjustments on the line of scrimmage based on what we were doing and what we were showing. He looked like he was poised in the pocket, never really panicked, took off when he needed to. So I was highly impressed with what I saw out of him.
What do you think about Taysom joining Frank Gifford and making some history today?
Yeah, I don't know what was the history. Tell me the history.
Touchdowns, receiving, passing, running. First player to do it since Frank Gifford.
I think that's pretty impressive, right? I mean, half the guys in that locker room would have no idea who Frank Gifford is. So I think that's pretty impressive.
With that, the touchdown pass from Jamal back in the end zone, it was kind of that counter punch that we talked about a lot with that package. What did you like about the execution of that play in that moment?
Well, look, I think everybody executed their job on that play. We're actually trying to get Bink a touchdown in the flat there. And they did a nice job, but he actually took two in coverage, which, allowed Juwan to get open in the back of the end zone. Taysom went through his progression, found Juwan. And that's what, like when you execute and you do the things that you're supposed to do, generally you get good results. All right, guys, thanks.
You have Taysom Hill and Cam Jordan.
Obvious first question. Have you heard of Frank Gifford?
I've heard because people have told me about, the stats guys have told me about these stats. So I have heard of them. Yeah, of course.
What does that mean to you, just join someone like that in the regular?
I don't know. I mean, look, I look back at my career and I certainly didn't think that it would have gone the way that it has. But as I hear and I think about stuff like that, it's overwhelming. I have a lot of gratitude to be able to be part of this program and play with coaches that are creative enough to give me opportunities. So I would say it's really just, a whole lot of gratitude.
Could you talk about what you saw on the touchdown pass?
Yeah, I think DA's explanation was pretty spot on. So, look, they zoned it off. You were trying to get Bink in the flat there, and he was covered. And so then, really we're trying to get Foster on the backside, and he took two, and then Juwan was running free in the back of the end zone. So it was just a progression-based play, and it worked out.
And that's what you expect. You expect two defenders to go with Colin Saunders, right?
Well, I don't know. He attracts a lot of eyes and a lot of attention, and even in the run game, those guys are worried about where he is because they don't want to, get hit by him.
Was there a noticeable difference in his energy in the huddle from when he noticed?
I don't know. Look, I think we had a fair amount of stuff in with him this week, and so I think he was more concerned about, hey, where am I lining up? Are we shifting right now? What are we doing? So, but look, Bink's a great teammate. The thing that I love most about him is his energy. So, anytime you get him in the huddle, players feed off of that, and that was certainly the case, tonight.
And how
today.
much have you enjoyed sort of just I know that, like DA said it earlier, right? You enjoyed the consistency of the offense over the course of the past 3 games. When you look at sort of the creativity, the things that have kind of gone in here, just, what does that mean to you as an offensive unit?
Yeah, I mean, look, I feel like the first quarter of the season we've been so close, and then it was like you look at a few drives and it was like a penalty here, killed a drive, and that type of thing. And I think what we've seen is we've had, penalty-free drives. We've had the ability to keep the chains moving, and as you alluded to, that gives you a lot of confidence. But as a play caller, you also have the opportunity to call a lot more plays on your call sheet. So the creativity that you're alluding to has always been there. But we've been sustaining drives, and which builds a lot of confidence. And we've been a confident unit the last few weeks for sure.
Taysom, you've had some pretty good years here. Do you think that maybe this year, everything you're doing, that you're on to your best season?
I don't know. Personally, I don't get too caught up in thinking about, what the stats are or what I'm doing. At the end of the day, we're just trying to win football games. And so, try to take advantage of every opportunity that I get, and hopefully I can contribute to winning games. All right. Thanks, guys.
Cam Jordan.
Kim, how did start number 200 feel?
Like I should have had 3 sacks and only left with 1. There's always room for more. I think the way our DBs got greedy in this game, it was just a little bit left over. I thought I was leaving with 2-piece. I looked off the quarterback and the ball was out. I was like, don't let it be okay. I guess we got one more time to hunt. Thought I was getting close again, and whatever it was, Double D finished the game for us. I was like, I thought I was getting a sack, but he got a sack. Even better, he got a fumble, and that's how you seal that. You love to see 5-6 and his super mode. I mean, he said this game. He started off preaching that this game was necessary, and he meant each and every word. That's how you come down with it. I got nothing but high praise and kudos for the way our DBs decided to start jumping routes. Paulson over there with no sleeves because that's how he was coming out like a thief in the night. My man was out there picking everything. It's just impressive to see a defense go out and get a win like that after the first half, because there was 14 points put on the first half, and that's not unlike us. I'm still upset about that part. But second half, great.
Can you categorize at all just sort of what the slow start was for the defense, or what led to it?
We talked about a fast start the whole week, so it couldn't have been what we preached. We wanted to focus in. We knew that they were going to have a first 15 that was going to be unlike the rest of the game, and then they sort of saw that unorthodox offense that they started going, quicks, outs, whatever it was working. And again, we had a quarterback escape the pocket a couple times, and that was probably the longest rushes of the game. That's something on the D line that we put on us, and we're emphasizing each and every day to eliminate that.
Kind of just touch on it, but what did you make of Paulson today?
That guy? Yeah, I think Paulson Adebo is a hell of an athlete, and again, decided to start jumping these routes, being all amazing and whatnot today. How many did you end up with? Just 2. Okay, just 2. Man, yeah. I mean, it was everywhere. He was everywhere. Our DBs did such a great job. So it's major shout out to Paulson Adebo out of Stanford, which just doesn't feel right, but it feels good.
So the team is probably 14 and plus 15 turnover ratio on the season. What would you say?
I have no idea. Whatever that equivalent does is equivalent to more wins. That's at the end of the day, we're going to be judged by how many wins, not how many takeovers or turnovers we have. So if we have 75 sacks in the season and we don't have enough wins to get into the playoffs, what does it matter? We've got 45 interceptions and if we don't make the playoffs, what does it matter? If we have 3 interceptions and we hit the playoffs and we have a chance to win the Super Bowl, that's all that matters. At the end of the day, the way these guys are playing, the way our defense showed up in this second half, that's how you get a win. And we need to start stacking these wins now. I started off my day by hating Matt. I saw him on the sideline. I gave him a little quick pop, just a little jolt, just to like, hey, I miss you, you know. And then we went from there. And then I got a couple quick pops on Beige. I haven't Beigent. Okay, cool. Yeah, secret agent, man. I don't like that one. But yeah, we got a couple hits on him early, and we wanted to make him a in pocket passer, and which sort of stinks as a rusher because you're like, all right, I'm trying to hit this turn, and yet you have to slow yourself down and play this game of don't let him escape the pocket, and then he escapes the pocket, then you get yelled at, and then you have to play even more emphasis on don't actually throw pass rush moves and just watch the pass rusher. It is what it is. But that's a game we're going into, and we probably wouldn't have changed with Justin Fields there because we know he's just as elusive of a runner. So again, it's onward and upward to whoever we have next week. I know who we have next week. My dad's here, so we have the Vikings next week. He usually tries to double up that way.
Do you find anything different in the second half? I know DA said y'all make some adjustments, but anything y'all talked about is you want to kind of stop them?
Absolutely. That was the emphasis. I mean, DA, said some words to the defense, but I was looking at the D line the whole time. I said, it's on us. If we don't allow him to escape the pocket, step through the B's the way he did, they wouldn't have, the 5.8 yards a clip that they were running at some point in time. I think we got him under 5 by the end of the game. We eliminated his little runs, and at that point, we made him be a pocket passer and took advantage. Cool. All right, you guys were here for Saeed. My dog.
Paulson Adebo.
How y'all doing? Perfect.
Paulson, how does it feel to have a game like that and to have that game play such a specific role in the win as well?
Yeah, it feels great. I mean, obviously I couldn't be able to do it without my teammates and without, obviously rushing coverage goes together. So, everybody's saying good pick, but the fact of the matter is, our pass rushers are doing a great job throughout the duration of the game, making the quarterback uncomfortable and making them throw, bad throws.
Can you break down both interceptions?
Yeah, just trying to read the quarterback's eyes, trying to be aggressive on the ball. That's something that we've been kind of harping on, trying to get takeaways and affect the ball and attack the ball. So it's kind of just what, as a whole, what we're trying to do as a defense.
Sorry.
Yeah.
On that first pick, at what point do you know you got a shot at it? Is it as he's starting the release? Like what is your mindset on that play? Like, at what point do you see I got a shot to go get this one?
Yeah, I think just trying to be a playmaker, reading the quarterback's eyes, seeing when his hand comes off the ball, and just trying to make a play, trying to jump a route. So just kind of reading the quarterback's eyes.
What do you see on the punch out?
I mean, it's something that we've been also harping on. Coach DA's harped on that, attacking the ball, top down punch out. So just trying to see the ball and trying to punch at it to make sure it can come out. So I'm glad that it was able to.
Were there things you were doing maybe to bait him a little bit or to disguise what you were doing a little bit that allowed you to make those 2 picks?
I think it's just great play calls. DA and our DC, Joe Woods, both of them just putting us in the position to make plays. So depending on the down and distance, I feel like they had us in a good call to be able to execute our technique and make a play on the ball.
This is a few weeks now where you've had strong games one after another. What do you kind of just make of building one game after another? Yeah, just try to take every game, one game at a time. Next game doesn't have anything to do with this game. So just being locked in every single play. There's some things that, I got to fix, and there's some things that we got to fix as a defense. But I think just moving forward, trying to be as focused as possible and trying to let the good games carry over.
do you feel locked in a way, like in a little bit different way the last few weeks? Like, do you feel like you've taken a step forward personally?
I just try to be locked in every single game. So if the results are good this week, obviously I got to go look at the film. You know what I mean? Sometimes it feels better than it is. Sometimes it feels worse than it is. But I'm just trying to have the same approach every single week and trying to put my best foot forward.
Where does this rank for you for your personal performances all time?
Probably one of the best. I mean, 2 picks and a forced fumble. I think that's probably my best. But again, there's some plays that I made mistakes on and whatnot that maybe hadn't been highlighted. So, it's give and take.
Did you make the run back on the first
Shoot, I'm just trying to find the end zone. Didn't happen this time, but just trying to be aggressive and trying to take it the other way.
When you have a game like this, and we all sit here, we ask you about the turnovers and the interceptions and things like that. How important is it for you to look at the moments in between those takeaways in terms of looking for additional improvement or something?
Yeah, I mean, every game is the same. We just look at what we did well, what we did, bad. There might be a game where I play phenomenal, but I don't have any interceptions. It might be a game where I play great or I play not so great, but have, so it's just trying to be as objective as possible, trying to look at the film, see what I could have did better, see what I could have did, what I did do well, and just kind of having that same mindset of correcting all the mistakes regardless of what it looks like at the end of the game.
It seemed like early on in the game, the Bears offense was able to produce pretty well in the middle of the field, and then they continued to be able to kind of attack the flats. From your perspective, was that an execution thing? Was that just play call versus play call? Do you have an idea of kind of how that happened, or is that more of a fact?
Yeah, I mean, they were calling some good plays, and they were, whether it was us that we weren't focusing or they were calling good plays, regardless, the fact of the matter is they were making plays, and that was a big emphasis coming back to try to stop some of those plays.
Were there things that you guys figured out and did differently in the second half?
I mean, throughout the duration of the game, we're always trying to make checks and adjustments, kind of see what the team's game plan is as they come out. So throughout the game, we're making different checks and making adjustments. So glad that it was able to carry over in the second half, and we were able to finish the game on a strong note.
Thank you, Paulson.
Appreciate y'all.
Derek Carr's can be in the second, and I think he'll be the last one.
Thank you, Derek.
Yep, hang on.
Yeah. All right.
Whenever you're ready.
Derek, how does it feel to? This is a team that last year didn't really win consecutive games at the very end of the season. You guys had the two wins early on. You kind of rode the roller coaster a little bit. How does it feel to get a second win in a row and start to string together some momentum?
Yeah, that's why we play the game, is to win football games and make the corrections after a win. And so we were able to string 2 in a row in now after that terrible feeling that we had before the Colts game, and seeing some of the fruits of the conversations and the hard work paying off. And that's a good feeling, especially as a quarterback when you know that we still have room to improve. We're doing some things better. Myself, always start with myself. But to see us going in that direction at this time of year is what you want to see.
It seems like the offense had the reverse this time, where it was you start fast and then you kind of was sluggish through the rest of the game. What happened in there?
Well, we won. At the end of the day, we won. And this is professional football. Everyone is into numbers and fantasy football and all those things. Sometimes DB makes a play. Sometimes the defense gets in there. Whether no matter what the rankings are. And they made a few plays in the second half early on that we didn't make, but I'm not overly concerned or like, oh man, it's not fixable or anything like that. But they made plays at those moments that made it feel like when we came out, it just wasn't feeling as good as the first. But I have no worries. I'm fully confident in our group to come in, especially tomorrow after a win, and really focus in on what do we do better now. And I'll be excited to see how we come out next week.
How important was it to be just alive and back going?
Yeah. I mean, look, we are all human. We go through stuff, and sometimes it's, there's change. He's, getting to know me, and there's things, that we deal with players in our personal life and things like that. And who knows what's going on? And sometimes you could be doing everything right and it doesn't go your way. We all know that in life, and, so, I think that he's still been making, some big plays for us and, making some tough catches and things like that. But to see him have a touchdown, see him have a couple big plays for us, get the ball back in his hands, that was good. And again, he goes back to, what I've been saying since I got here. Some days it's going to be that way where, oh, wow, Chris, and, oh man, Mike had, 8 catches, or Sheed, or, and, man, Alvin got the ball a whole bunch. I just am going to read the plays out and, try my best to make it happen. And it just happened to, go that way for Chris Day, but it's good timing, I think, for him.
On Chris, I mean, there's been a lot of chatter outside about him and things like that. Can you just speak to kind of the maturity that he's had over the course of the past couple of weeks dealing with everything? He's been unbelievable. And I'm glad you asked that, because I hope that gets praised. He has handled everything with such class. He's handled everything as such a pro. Every time we come to work, he's still texting me. We're FaceTiming. He's, hey, I got you on this. Hey, this, I like this route, and just to see him, dealing, to be able to compartmentalize, taking that and still doing his job, it's really unbelievable. And so he's a young player. Again, this is another thing that I think is a problem in our league. We don't give young guys a chance to grow and develop and go through their process. And, he's developing into what I think is going to be a tremendous player for a long time. And the city of New Orleans should be very happy to have Chris as, one of their starting receivers, because he's the ultimate pro. He loves football. He's a great teammate. And he does anything you ever ask of him. And sometimes even when it's the hard stuff, he goes in there and he does it. And, we call him at the end of the game to, put us in better field goal position. Boom, he comes up for us, and throw him the ball to get a first down, which I think it was a first down, but I'm not complaining at all. I'm clear on that. But he makes a big play for us there. We called his number, and so to see him just continue to push through, there's things in my life I've been through where no one even knows, but you just keep pushing through. And when you see the fruits of it, just personally, it's a good feeling.
Yeah, you see 5 turnovers on the other side of the ball. And this year's Saints they've been pretty good about ball security. How valuable has that been in a lot of these close games? Well, it's one of the things that, I could go out there and probably do 2 or 3 plays back and try and force a ball and see, make a tight window throw. And I have all the confidence that I can do it. But at the end of the day, playing with this defense, I know over time that if I can take care of the football and if we can as an offense hold on to it and do those things, that, those numbers begin to turn into wins. And, you always see at the end of the year, takeaway differential. And you see the teams at the top have a bigger takeaway differential and the teams at the bottom don't. And it's the opposite. And so for me, coming here and playing here, I just want to be as efficient and clean as possible. And there's going to be games that will be tight, and when they're tight, you got to take care of the ball. Just give us a chance at the end. And then when you have to make that throw, you make that throw. But there's a couple of times today where I didn't have to do that because, what's happening on the other side of the ball. And so the ultimate goal is to win the football game. And, it takes all 3 phases playing together. And so I just try and do that to my best to help DA and those guys out. I know when I walked in, you were saying how it's different person's day each time, but just from what you saw, what were they doing that made it so hard to get Michael Thomas involved?
Well, we had a few opportunities, but there was also some things, where on a play that maybe, could go to him or we're featuring him. It's like the one coverage, that takes it away. Or it's that one guy, if he's just a hair tighter, we can throw it, but no, he played it there. And that makes me move on through the progression. And so I know, Mike, that's probably a frustrating thing. Just as a player, you want to help and, you do it. But what he doesn't, hopefully he knows, he understands they were doubling him in the red zone, which led to Chris's one-on-one touchdown. He got doubled a couple times down there where then Jawan's one-on-one on an end cut we hit in the red zone, So I know it's hard in this day and age to think, man, but just his presence of who he is helped us win this game today, and it won't be on a stat sheet, won't get any fantasy cool points or anything like that. But his presence and who he is helped our team win today. And that's a huge thing for us.
And then obviously not a pivotal moment of the game, but when you had about 10 seconds left before halftime, Why were you sending the receivers? Were you guys going into that play looking for just like an 8-yard, 10-yard pass? Or?
Well, yeah, we wanted to get as much as we could, see if we get a field goal. And then I saw how they were playing, and I knew we were probably going to throw the Hail Mary after. And so with them playing sideline defense, I just wanted them to go because now they're all on the sideline. There's less people in the end zone, And so it wasn't even something that we talked about or anything like that. We ended up trying the Hail Mary, but they got in there and I had to throw it away or check it down, but whatever. But yeah, that's all that happened.
No sacks today. What did you say about the offensive line play?
They've been unbelievable. And, there's things that, they want to clean up and things like that. And, I'm trying my best too to not take sacks, because at the end of the day, that hurts the team. Whether I throw it, and some people may not like it every now and then, to dirt a ball and things like that. But, you got to make the right plays. And I think our offensive line is doing such a good job to allow me to play quarterback, manipulate defenders. And, the first play of the game, I got to move my eyes, move somebody, throw the ball. I mean, and that's all a credit to them. That's not, anything that Chris and I did special. Like that's a credit to them to allow us to play that way. And I think they're doing a fantastic job. And so, yeah, I can't wait. Christmas presents will be nice.
With Taysom, now that you've been here half a season, and especially the past few games,
yeah,
how do you see his versatility affecting games?
Oh, it's unbelievable. Well, today he got, so much man coverage, and, usually, when we're in there throwing the ball, like, we don't get much man. And when we do, usually it's a good play for us. And, and that's across the league. That's not just us. That's across the league, right? They were playing some man things, and that's why his touchdown, man, is wide open. Jawan comes back, boom, we have a big play. And you see just his ability to run the football. They got to load the box. If you don't load the box, he can throw it, And he's been so good in that role here for so long, and I remember watching the clips of, growing up of when it was Drew playing quarterback. And I was like, man, I was from afar. I was like, man, they're taking Drew off the field. And then you get here, like, I see why, this guy's pretty good. And so he's great in what he does for us. And he's a ultimate competitor, great friend. He's been amazing to me since I got here. And, I celebrate him every chance I get because of, that just doesn't come around all the time. A guy that can go from tight end to running back, from special teams, blocking on a punt return to playing tight end to going to quarterback to playing F receiver. Like that just doesn't happen all the time. So, he's one of my favorite teammates, but he's just an ultimate competitor and I love him.
Derek, I know you were on the field for it, but I believe that play was designed to go to Colin. Is it kind of wild to see a defensive tackle dragging multiple defenders and leaving Jawan standing by himself?
Hilarious. I've played with my fair share of, good players on the skill positions. I've never seen someone attract that much attention on a football play. So credit to him. Him and I got to put him and Devontae in the same category now, and being able to attract attention. So him and Mike T taking double teams today, they attract attention. I think I put 99 in that category too.
Yeah, I know a little early for scoreboard watching, but the Bucs and the Falcons both lost today. Put you guys in first, in the South. Does it make that win a little bit more sweeter, just knowing kind of definitely control your own destiny at this point?
Yes, I will be as respectful when I say this. Like, yes, that's awesome, but at this point of the year, it does not matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't let my mindset be like, oh yeah, we're in first and week whatever. It's like that. Can't let your mind go there, But it does, At the initial, you're like, oh, sweet, that's awesome. Wash it and put your head down and go to work. And so make the corrections, keep winning, when we can. And then at the end of the year, that'll feel a lot better. That question will be my answer will be a lot different at the end of the year. Good? All right. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Shout out to the fam, man. That's all the interviews right there. It's pretty cool, man, seeing that happen, man. Let's go ahead and flash on into these team statistics. A lot of good moves that will happen during this game. The Saints were able to get the win 24-17 over this team, and we move into a position where the Saints, and I'm going to show you the statistics, these stats right now where the Saints are, divisional stats right now in the game. The Saints are 5-4 in the NFC South right now. Atlanta lost today. They're currently on a 2-game losing streak. Tampa Bay lost today as well. Texans came from behind to beat them. Tampa Bay is on a 4-game slide. So you got Tampa Bay 4-game slide, Atlanta on 2-game slide. Saints have won 2 in a row. They are 5-4 in lone possession of the NFC South right now. You see what Carr said about everything. So how do you guys feel? Do you agree with Mr. Carr about his feeling about dealing with the Saints team right now? And what he was saying about Washington moving past, it's good to know we're there and I can feel what he's saying. Also, shout out to the fam, man. Appreciate y'all being. He says, Q, you got to have a and right counter and right counter every time DC and DA talk. Yeah, he does say a lot. And Dennis Allen says you got to clean it up. He says a lot of stuff over and over again. He'll give you one. He talked about adjustments are overrated. And then Paulson Adebo comes out and says, we made the second half adjustments. Miscommunication. All right, anyway, shout out to Brent, man, for the Cash App. Says, for there goes the possum with the peacock strut. There you go. The peacock is strutting again up there. And he got a little testy with one of the reporters that asked him about it. Says adjustments are overrated. What? Come on, man.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Indeed, bro. Thank you, Brent. Appreciate it.
Hey, bro, come on now,
Come
dog.
on, DA.
Come on, man.
Come on, DA.
I'm trying to say thank you very much. Picking me up and bringing me back to this.
All right. Shout out, Brent. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, man, for the super chat. Let's bring in Pops Q. Pops Q, you had the opportunity to kind of take in everything that the Saints were saying during the the post game of the presser. A lot of people talk. Derek Carr, Dennis Allen spoke as well. What do you? And then let's just get your thoughts about how the Saints got the win.
Well, I think they played pretty good, especially in the second half. They kind of shut Chicago down. They figured some things out, how to deal with the quarterback that plays for them. It's a rookie. It shouldn't have gotten to that point where they had, Baldwin had allowed Chicago to hang with them, but they still haven't corrected they block the edge and protect the edges, but they leave the center of the field wide open because you have quarterbacks still running up the middle, running up and down the field on them, and they're going to have to figure out a way to check that guy. They did some cleaning up on it later in the third quarter and start to kind of preserve, and they got try to hold on to the win. But it's going to be a problem for them because the last time they played Tampa, little guy, Mayfield, what we call him, Mayfield, Montana, ran up and down the field on him. You can't have that. You got to catch. You got to stay in, especially he's the most important player on the field, the quarterback. So, and they would get pressure on him, but then there's a guy sitting in the gap or just dump the ball off. He's picking up 5 or 6, picking up first downs in bunches. I think the way they towards the second half, they really played well. They really did well. An outstanding play was that on one of the punts, the Saints punted back to the Bears and backed the Bears up all the way to their 2-yard line. Outstanding. The young man that blocked the ball and had it go out of bounds on a 2-yard line. That's very, very tight. But they got it done. They got the win. Carr has to the calling, the play calling got a little unimaginative, and they was able to. Chicago was able to shut them down for the last, I'd say, 5 minutes. I think they were on the fourth down run. I think they might have gotten it, but under all the piles, human bodies and the players there, they missed the call on that, and it allowed Chicago to move on from there. And I'm looking at them. They're getting better. They're getting better. It's just that they're not using their running game like they need to. Kamara had a couple of nice runs, but you got to develop that balance between run and pass, and that's what wins in this league. You have to develop the ability to run and pass. They didn't do too bad, but in the first half, they didn't do all that well. I think they're beginning to get it. I don't know how long it's going to take many more games for them to win, to get it, but I think they're going to get the system. They just have to keep playing, and they have to be fired up, and they have to be in spots. They have to move quicker. Their pace is a little slow. I mean, it's like Derek's taking a lot of time to pass the ball, and he got away with it a couple of times, and fortunately they didn't get any interceptions off of it. But he still has a tendency to try to force the ball. You can't do that. If you start doing that, you're gonna have problems.
Yeah, indeed, Pops. And that's one of the things we kind of talk about a lot, is the fact that when you're dealing with and a lot of people just happy to get the W. It's a positive win, and it was a game where I was kind of looking at it like, okay, the Saints couldn't kind of set their feet against this game and build on this game. I still have a lot of questions. I got a lot of questions. I'm satisfied with the win because it's a win. Who wouldn't be happy with a win, right? So we satisfied with the win. They improved to 5-4. They won 2 in a row, right? I think it's 2 in a row. I think we won. Right. So, I mean, we won 2 in a row. So, I mean, the issue is with the Saints going forward is, as we get ready for the Vikings, and listen, the Vikings did lose Kirk Cousins. He's out for the year. But they made some moves, and despite the fact that they lost Kirk Cousins, the Minnesota Vikings are still on a 4-game winning streak. So that speaks a lot about the culture of what's going on with Minnesota. For you to lose your starting quarterback and you still are able to figure out ways to win. And they traded for Josh Dobbs, and he helps them come from behind and beat the Falcons today to help us steal possession or take possession of the NFC South. So we have to watch out for that. But I still have some questions. Offensively speaking, we're still not where we are. We're still disjointed. The defense showed up in the second half, despite Dennis Allen saying adjustments. And to be fair to Dennis Allen, he said adjustments are overrated. It's just the guy telling the guy to do their damn job. You do the job, you tackle better, you do this, you do that. And it's a part of the measurement. But in this one, man, all I can say is in this game, man, it's just, to me, the Saints they didn't really run the ball that well. They had a ton of turnovers in this game, but yet and still the Saints only won by a touchdown, which is telling. You can't play this stuff against better teams, obviously. But we got a long way to go. And it to be going into week number 10 against the Minnesota Vikings. And we're still waiting to see when the Saints offense will galvanize consistently to lead us to the promised land. They did some promising things in this game, but toward the back end of the game, they just disappeared. They disappeared, and the defense popped up and started making all these turnovers. They have all these turnovers and still only beat the Bears by 7. It's interesting. So, but Carr played well in the game in terms of his numbers, but there was a lot of plays that he left on the field. He left a lot of plays simply because he was enamored with a possession, a particular area of the field, a particular wide receiver. People was asking him about that today. I was talking to him about Michael Thomas and what's the thing with Michael Thomas? Well, I didn't go to Michael Thomas on the toss in the end zone because he was double covered. But what about the rest of the day? He wasn't covered the rest of the day. That's one pass you're talking about. I mean, it's because he wasn't seeing that side of the field. He was looking center or to the right. He wasn't seeing a half of the field. It was countless times I'm seeing it on the field. Like, dude, look at everything. They didn't allow him to be sacked today. He did knock down a couple of times, but he's still kind of just looking at Carr, still not comfortable back then. I don't know why. I don't understand why he's not as comfortable as you would like him to be back there. I don't know why. Week 10 is coming up very soon, Minnesota. Then we have a bye week, week 11. So I still don't see what I want to see from the Saints offense. We've been waiting and looking and saying, dude, they're going to finally hit on it. And then you get a game like last game where the offense steps up. You get a game like the Patriots game. And then, it is what it is. Defense, man, I have a lot of questions for both sides of the ball. Defense forced a lot of turnovers. Offense started good and fell off. Defense started slow, then picked up. So I'm like, man, questions, and only could be answered by the play into the future. So I'm still very leery about so much. Of course, I appreciate the win. Of course, I'm positive about the win. But it's more beyond that going into next week. like we still haven't showed the ability to consistently take positive things that we've done from an offensive standpoint and have it translate consistently into the following game. We haven't done that. Now we are on a 2-game winning streak, which I'm happy for. But look who you're beating. Look who you're supposed to, you're supposed to be the Colts team without the starting quarterback and key players. You're supposed to be the Chicago Bears team that's missing their starting quarterback. Supposed to be the Minnesota team that's missing their starting quarterback, even though Minnesota still winning without their starting quarterback. That's still telling. So in the end, we're 5-4. The Falcons are not. The Falcons are 4-5, as you can see on the screen. Saints in sole possession of the NFC South right now. This first time this year. 5-4. Falcons lost there on the 2-game slide. Tampa Bay lost as well. Carolina is currently, I think Carolina is losing right now to the Colts right now, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're losing 10-0 to the Colts for 4 minutes left in the second quarter of the game. They're down by 10 to the Colts, so they very well could be 1-7 as well. So I'm gonna just be honest with you, I absolutely love how everything is shaping up. I'm happy that a lot of these people, despite the fact that the Saints are winning the way they're winning, we still able to take delight. I said delight and joy in the fact that the Falcons lost, the Buccaneers lost, and right now the Carolina Panthers are losing 10-0. I'm elated with that.
Yeah, and not only that, just see, I'm leery about this Viking team. I'll be honest with you. We're gonna be playing on their turf, and then I know they play in a dome. I think, if I remember the stadium, but we don't have good luck with this team. As a matter of fact, I can't remember the last time they actually beat the Minnesota Vikings. They always seem to come up with a way to win against us. And I'm a little leery about this one. So we can't play the way we played against the Bears. The Bears are the Bears. I'm a little leery on this one. I'm looking optimistic, but Carr continues to seem like he's moving a little too slow to get the ball out, or he's trying to hang on to it to get the ball to one particular receiver. And it's going to come back to bite him if he don't change that situation with the reads. If there's a guy, you should be able to scan the field by the time you have the ball in your hand. And the offensive line did a hell of a job today. I got to give it to him, protecting him. I don't think he got hit once, but he wasn't sacked at all. So if he can continue to, once he learns how to read the field from side to side, see who's open, and then get the ball out quickly to him. It's all about speed and momentum. Not to throw an interception, but speed to get the ball to the people that are open. I mean, out in that pass route, you have Kamara could be open, Thomas could be open, Olave or Rashid could be open. You got to pick out the one that's open and get the ball to him. You can figure most teams will play the sidelines, because that's what wide receivers like to run along the edges of the field. But what about the tight end down the middle? You know what I'm saying? Get the ball out. He's taking his time getting the ball out, and it's allowing the defense to catch back up. See what I'm saying? So I'm optimistic, but I'm leery about this one coming up. And Minnesota team seem to find ways to beat us, and we haven't had good luck against them. Hopefully, we'll have a good game against them and send them home packing. But we on their turf, and we don't have a good record on their turf.
Yeah, the last time we played, we played them, Pop, was and beat them was back in 2020, Christmas of 2020, when Alvin Kamara went off. The Saints beat them 52-30. I think it's 52-33. That was the last time we were able to. Mm-hmm. So that's the last time. Yeah, 52-30. So, Alvin Kamara went off the game. So I mean, that was the last time. Yeah, 22 carries for $115, $155 with 6 touchdowns rushing. So yeah, Drew Brees.
But that was pretty good.
Yeah, he broke some records on that game. And of course, the last time we played him was back in 22, which was last year, we lost to them 28-25. So yeah, we didn't have some issues with them, and that's regular season stuff. This Sean,
that was with Kurt Cousins at the quarterback, huh?
That game, yeah, Kirk Cousins was in there. Kirk Cousins was in there. His numbers was he was 25 of 38, 273, a touchdown, a pick. Andy Dalton was the quarterback. He was 20 of 28 for 236. He had a touchdown in the game, and the Saints lost the game to them. That was over there in England, over there to England. The Saints were 1-3 at the time. So, yeah. So we talk about all the playoff stuff with them. That's a whole nother kettle of fish. So yeah, this team is way different than that team, and they're still on a 4-game. To be honest with you, a 4-game winning streak. That's pretty positive to be losing your starting quarterback. So regardless of what happens,
and still winning, yeah,
right. It's going to be interesting to see exactly what it looks like up against this team. It's up in their building, so the Saints realistically should be able to take care of business against them like we did the Bears. Hopefully in a better performance. We'll see. But in the end, it is it is. Saints got the dub today, and we're very proud of that. We got a lot to clean up. But in the end, we got the win, and the Saints currently are sitting at the top of the NFC South. So there you go.
Yep, 5-4, New Orleans Saints. Yep. If they can, this will be a game that's more. In other words, you could say that the two teams are almost equal in their with their personnel, but we have a slight advantage because we're looking at a rookie quarterback starting. I don't know if he's a rookie or not, but I know we've never played him. They went outside and got him. Am I correct? Or they went outside and got him?
That's right.
So this is an interesting time. They got to put pressure on him and don't let him. The only thing we got to do is stop him from these young quarterbacks from running all over. And they see in a lot of the teams that the Saints are playing and coming up, they're watching that very closely. Quarterback can take off and run up the field 30 or 40 yards before he even get touched down. See what I'm saying? We have to clean that up. Otherwise, you're going to keep your defense on the field. You have to clean it up.
Absolutely, Pops. You're 100% right, man. The Saints definitely got to pull a Dennis Allen, and they got to clean it up. We talk about that all the time of them doing it. And in the end, it's a victory for the Saints. We'll face off against Minnesota next Sunday at noon in the Vikings building. So it's going to be interesting to see go up there. Josh Dobbs. We'll see who starts. I think Jalen Hall, who was the quarterback, he got knocked out of the game. And Joshua Dobbs, who's a veteran, been around the league, led them to victory. He was only there for a little bit. So we'll see if he gets to start for the Vikings and whatever they can do. So they got some playmakers there. I know I think Jefferson is still banged up. I think Jefferson's not there. But despite the fact that they're missing, they're missing a ton of people that's out. Kirk Cousins, Cam Akers is another guy that was questioned. Jalen Hall got hit. Some of their wide receivers are banged up. TJ Hawkinson, their tight end, he's banged up. Justin Jefferson's on the IR. Osborne was one of the wide receivers. He's questionable. They got a starting left tackle that's hurt. So they're suffering with a lot of injuries. And despite that team is on a 4-game winning streak, and they are 5-4 and is second in the NFC North behind the Bears. So it speaks about that team's, their gumption, their fight, their spirit. So it's not going to be easy to take them down. All right. So anyway, with that being said, we're going to get ready to get on that. Go ahead, Pop.
No, just saying, I'm looking forward to the game. I think we have a shot at beating them if we continue to improve on our play and get our plays a little bit quicker, so we can find out how fast and how quick our wide receivers are. When they get open, we have to get them the ball. You can't have a DB draping all over you and while the guy has to come back and wait on the ball. You don't want that. We want to be able to bam, 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 move the ball down the field. And we got the talent to do it.
Indeed, for real. All right, so with that being said, fam, we're going to get ready to get out on that. I appreciate all you guys for chiming in on the stream. The Saints took care of business today It was a lot closer than we thought it. The statistics indicate with 5 turnovers, the Saints finish up 24-17 over the Bears to improve to 5-4. They're first in the NFC South right now, currently taking the division, leading it for the first time this year. All of the NFC South teams, well, not all of them, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Falcons lost, and Carolina is currently losing as well. They're currently losing to the Colts right now, 10-3. They did get a field goal, so whether they win or lose, it's just funny to us because they don't impact what's going on at the top of the NFC South right now. So with that being said, fam, we're gonna move on that. Listen, I appreciate all y'all for chiming on this episode of the show. Please feel free to check out the merch shops. The links in the description section below. Check that out. That helps out the platform. Also, feel free to subscribe, like, and share the show on your social media feed. It helps out the platform so we can keep doing a lot of this great work that we're doing over here on the Sports Coma, the PRO Media Network. We continue to do it because of the love and support of the family members. So if you want to help us out, patreon.com/the Pro Media Network, or simply become a channel member that helps out the stream. So with that being said, we're going to leave on that. Appreciate you guys for chiming in. Much love to you. Congratulations on the Saints win. We are 5-4. We got another one, a tough one coming up against Minnesota, despite the fact that they're missing some people. The team is not going to lay down and let you stump on them. They're going to fight. Thus, we have to fight and may the best person win. So with that being said, I'm going to get out on that. Much love to y'all. Appreciate y'all. Who dat? And I'm out.
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who dat. I'm a who dat. Long as I'm living, I'm a who dat. Lose or winning, I'm a who dat. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, 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 Boogie like Benson, I'm a who dat. I'm a who dat. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, running like this, and I'm a who dat. Every day I'm living, I'm a who dat. Lose or winning, I'm a who dat. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this, and I'm a who dat. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Your black and gold home for the New Orleans Saints.
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform's store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items.